So in this video, I'm going to give you a special module right for the MATHSZX Academy. This module was called the note-taking techniques. So many students are wasting a lot of time on creating notes on absolutely everything and not spending enough time creating efficient notes that's going to help you in your exams. In this video, that's about to change. So stay with me. Let's get into it. If you've been stuck on the same grade for months and months and just don't know where to turn to, I'm going to teach you step by step exactly how to achieve the top grade in 90 days or less. And the best thing about this, it's free. So at the end of this video, you can find a link to the MATHSZX Academy below. Right, let's get straight into it. What is up? Welcome to the final module of week 1 of study skills in the A/A Star Masterclass. So module 4, we're going to be talking all about note-taking techniques. So what we're going to cover. So first things, we're going to cover what the difference is between taking class notes and what the difference is between taking revision notes, which is it might not seem like there's a difference, but there is quite a big difference between the two. We're going to show the difference between those. Then I'm going to show you how to take notes, how you should take your class notes, and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to introduce to you the MATHSZX example page. But as usual, first things first, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all our social media platforms for more exclusive content at MATHSZX Official. Share the course. I want to see everyone win. So if you know someone who's looking to get A/A stars in maths, share the course with them. It's completely for free, so they have nothing to lose. And it's good to have someone to obviously just do this journey with you. So share the course. Pro tip: watch the entire video. Don't skip and take action. So take a timeout after this video. Pause the video if you need. Apply what you need to know. Take notes. Summarize, but take action. Don't just watch the video and do nothing with it. Don't skip and take action. For my fast learners, watch the video at 1.5 speed. I won't be offended. Watch at 1.25 speed. If I'm talking too fast, you can watch it in 0.75 if they have that. Or just watch the video at your own pace, but make sure you watch the whole thing. Cool? So why are class notes not enough? First things first, the class notes, you're going to write everything the teacher says, and you're also going to write the things that are on the board. Some of the things that are on the board might just be waffle. Some of the things that teachers say again might not be relevant. So you need to be able to separate the waffle with the relevant information. Okay, so that's what class notes are. Class notes is a mixture of waffle and things you need to know. What you're going to do with revision notes is separate. So you're going to remove all the waffle and you're going to have done all the relevant information you need for your exam. So what's the difference? I'm literally about to show you right now. So, for example, what I did is I went on YouTube, for example, and I literally sat there as if you were going to be sat there looking at trigonometry, for example. I looked at a YouTube video for 50 minutes and I wrote down all the notes I would have wrote down if I was in GCSE in your position, and this is what I got down. So, trigonometry made easy. That was the title of the YouTube video. The first thing he said is for right angled triangles only. He then had a triangle here and he labeled it like that: adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. He said sides have a ratio with each other, and he said it's used to find angles and lengths. Okay, so that's exactly what I wrote down. He said he didn't write in the video, but he mentioned that hypotenuse is the longest side, and he said opposite is opposite the angle, so opposite this angle here. He then said sine equals over h, cos equals over h, tan equals over a. Be careful, look here. He didn't say anything about theta next to it. He didn't say anything about theta here. Didn't say anything about theta here. So you need to think about stuff as well. When they're writing down, they might not write everything down accurately. So you need to note that as well. So he didn't write that there. And he said Sokatoa, but the way he kind of remembered it was some old hags can't always hack their old age. That's what you wrote down. Me personally, I just go for Sokatoa, but I'm just writing down exactly what the video said. And that's what his acronym was. Then he said something about label sides, figure out which equation to use. So I wrote that down. And then he had a bunch of examples. So he had an example for finding the side. This was his example. He labeled O and H only. He said sine theta. Now he included theta here, but he didn't include it here. So be careful. So theta here equals over H. Then he plugged everything in. He decided to find sine 35 and write it to two decimal places and then rearrange it to find x. I personally would just leave it at sine 35, and then when I put it into the calculator, I would have done 12 times sine 35, and that would have given me a more accurate answer. But it depends. I just wrote down what he wrote down, and then he did another bunch of examples. So that's examples of class notes, or like if the teacher was speaking at you, if I was speaking at you, or your mentor speaking at you, you're just writing everything that they're saying now. So that's class notes. Now, how do you write revision notes? So I'm going to break down the MATHSZX example page. I'm going to use Pythagoras' theorem as an example. Then I'm going to show you the example page I created, given the notes that I just showed you. Okay. So there's 4 elements of the MATHSZX example page. First is the header. So you need to kickstart your note-taking process by boldly writing out the lesson or topic title at the top of your page. The reason why we do this is so when you're flicking through your example pages or you're flicking through your notebooks, you know exactly what we're looking for. If you're looking for Pythagoras' theorem, you can see it's Pythagoras' theorem there. Next, we have key ideas. So this is all the relevant information you need to know. So all the waffle you don't need to, you just remove that. It's only the key concepts that you would need to know for the specific topic. Then, one of the most important aspects of the page is your procedure. So, this is your step-by-step guide on how to answer any question. For example, so Pythagoras' theorem is quite a small topic, so there's only one procedure you kind of need to know when dealing with Pythagoras' theorem. But when you're dealing with A level, for example, binomial methods, you're gonna have loads of different example pages for that one topic because you have different ways of figuring stuff out. Same with GCSE higher, you might have different things for like circle theorems or vectors. Vectors, you might have one on how to show that they're parallel. The other, you might have one to find another side. So you might have multiple example pages for the same topic, but the procedure remains the same. So you have step 1, you do this. Step 2, you do this. Step 3, step 4, step 5. So you know exactly how to answer any type of question. Then finally, you have your example. So you need to have an example to show you how to use those certain steps. So step 1, label your triangle. So you have here, I've labeled A, B, and C. Step 2, write out Pythagoras' theorem. So I've written it out, wrote it out, whatever. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. I've got that down. Step 3, if we're finding A or B, rearrange to make it the subject. So we're trying to find B in this case. So we rearrange to make it the subject. So B squared equals C squared minus A squared. Step 4, substitute our values in and simplify. So I sub our values in, 15 and 11. I simplify it out by putting it into my calculator, which is 104. Step 5, square root both sides to find the answer. So I square root x squared to get x, square root 104 to get square root of 104. Put it into my calculator, I get 10.198 dot dot dot, and then the answer I want it to 2 significant figures, so I write to 2 significant figures, 10.2 centimeters. So I've gone through the procedure each time, and I've given you an example of how to figure it out. So that's all you need. You don't need any more of the other waffle. You just keep it straight to the point. The MATHSZX example page, four element criteria of a page, and you keep going with that. Sometimes it might be multiple pages of the same thing, but just keep the 4 headings. That's all you need. Okay, so now bring us to the example page for the trigonometry example I've had before. So this is what our example page looked like. So I decided to go for SOHCAHTOA, so I didn't use the acronym that he had. I put there as well. It's finding sides and angles for right-angled triangles only. I drew the triangle down, drew the triangle in the example pages. I labeled adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. I said hypotenuse is the largest side, so whenever I'm labeling, I know hypotenuse is the largest side. I know opposite is opposite the angle in question, and I know adjacent holds both the right angle and theta. So that's how I've labeled a triangle. I've defined what saw, cat, and toa is. I included a theta in there because I think it's important for you to include a theta, because if you didn't, you would think, where does the angle go? So sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse, cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. I've also labeled O, A, and H here, so I know what H, A, and O is. Why did it do that? Procedure. First things first, label the triangle. Step 2, figure out whether you're using saw, cat, or toa. Step 3, sub in your values into the equation. Step 4, rearrange to find your answer. And I have a note. When finding angles, use sine to the -1, cos to the -1, or tan to the -1 to rearrange. So example 1, finding the side. So I label the triangle, step 1. Step 2, figure out whether you're using saw, cat, toa. So I figured out I'm using saw because I only have O and H that I'm dealing with. I don't have anything to do with adjacent, so I know I'm using saw. So I write the equation down, sine theta equals over H. Then I sub values into the equation, so sine 35 equals x over 12. I literally just copied the example that he used in, so evaluated sine 35, which is 0.57. Rearrange it to find your answer. So I want x, so x equals 12 times 0.57. And that's and then I don't need to use the note page because I'm finding sides only, so 6.88 meters. Now finding an angle, same thing, so label triangle, O and H. So again, we're using saw, so sine over sine equals O over H, so saw here. Sub in your values, so I sub in values 33 over 105. rearrange to find your answer. Okay, so I need to find theta by itself. So to rearrange, when finding angles, use sine to the -1. So I have theta equals sine to the -1 of 0.315, which is 33 over 105. That's my answer, 18.3 degrees. So that's it. So I can use this example page, and I'll be able to answer every single one of any trigonometry question that is being thrown at me. I'll be able to use that. So I would put this here, the key IDs on a flashcard, and I'll put the procedure on a flashcard, and that's it. 2 flashcards, and it'll tell me everything I need to know for trigonometry. So that's how I would use the example pages, and then that's how I would transfer all my example pages onto my flashcards. Cool. So summary, what have we learned? So where do we find information? First, you can find information through your class notes, so the class works that you're going into. You can find it through workbooks, so they have what the CPNG, CPG books, or any workbooks that you have or know of. You can find information there. You can go on YouTube. YouTube is very, very, very good giving you information. Just search up, find YouTube, just like I did, and just sit there and just write everything down. You can join our live Q&A calls. We go through a lot of math stuff. Any questions you have, I'll answer there. So you can go through Q&A calls. You can ask your mentors, any mentoring sessions that you're going through. Again, that's where you're going to find all the information you can on the subjects. Class notes. So these are the fresh notes that we saw you create from watching a video or sitting in the class. So that's what your class notes are. So it involves the relevant information and the waffle. And then your revision notes. Let me move this out of the way. It's the MATHSZX example page. So try to create them weekly. So go through the content so you have them ready for when revision starts. So on top of your homework that you're going to get set every week by your teachers or your mentors or so on and so forth. At the same time, you need to also be creating example pages. So when your revision comes, you're literally just looking at the example pages. You don't need to worry about your class notes or your lecture notes or so on and so forth. So every Sunday or every designated day, every Sunday, you create an example page on everything that you've learned that week. So that's that. So as per usual, follow us on our social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube for more exclusive content at MATHSZX Official. Let us know what you think about the course. So leave us testimonials. Get the chance to win prizes. You can have the opportunity to win Amazon gift cards. Access to the MATHSZX Academy for a year. So we have a lot of prizes. Available to you. So tell us what you think, and it will also be good for other students who are looking to join us to see what you guys basically think about the course and our community. So leave us a testimonial. As per usual, believe in your power, believe in your source. You're capable to basically do anything that you need to do. But in order for you to be able to achieve those grades, you need to take action. So, like I said, take an hour out after this video, have a look at your action items, stay accountable. Pause the video, re-look at the video, summarize your notes, but take action before you move on to the next video. So that kind of rounds off week 1 of your study skills. Join me on week 2 where we kind of look at your exam preparation and the rest of the weeks. It'll be good to see you guys, man. It'll be good to carry on. I'm showing you how you can get those A stars in your maths and able to apply it to other subjects. But this rounds off week 1. It's been good seeing you for the week and I'll catch you next week. Bless.